Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's ChrisXradio. ChrisXradio.
What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink.
And now, your host.
I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Chris X.
Ever closer to Christmas. Good afternoon and welcome to ChrisXradio here on the Voice of Texas. I'm the aforementioned X-Man along with Harry Bohemoth. I'm sticking with Harry Bohemoth for another week or two, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm going to go with that for now, at least for the holiday season. Keeps them warm on those cold winter nights. Nonetheless, Harry Bohemoth has assumed control of the airwaves. He will maintain control of these airwaves for the next 2 hours as, of course, we come bearing a gift beyond price that is almost free, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the spirit of talk radio. Got a lot to get into today, and we'll get into pretty much all of it. If you want to join us, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738 here on your Manic Monday edition. And we'll be playing Christmas music for you today. And then I've got the Chris Xmas music, I like to call it. It's a little more fun. So I'll play some of that as well for Harry Bohemoth. Also, it's our Manic Monday. I want to mention we had our Christmas lunch today with the Lieutenant Governor, which was great. I mean, we're party animals. Oh, man. We partied so hard. We ate great food and played bingo. We're out of control. No, it was actually great. We had a good time, had great food, and just the food was fantastic. And, of course, the company's even better. And I get to see the Lieutenant Governor maybe once a year if I'm lucky. So that's great to always see him and catch up with him. And I know he was busy. He had, other meetings before and after I don't know how he does it, but he stays very busy. But I got to hang out with the judge, of course, from the Amigos early on, and then he split. And then Strew with a View, Mr. Ben Strewsam was hanging out with us and eating as well. And then, of course, El Senador, Paul Betancourt, who was doing his best Trump impression while we were playing bingo. So I changed his nickname to El Presidente. Paul Betancourt. He does his Trump impression. He just keeps going. I think it took us 12 hours to play a game of bingo because he was doing his best Trump impression. But it was a whole lot of fun. It's always good to see everybody and do this. Everybody except Harry Bohemoth, he was working. So fortunately, Captain Jack brought him some food back. So you guys got to be extra nice to Harry Bohemoth today since he actually had to work and wasn't able to go. Somebody has to keep the station on the air. Thank God it was Harry Bohemoth because it was up to me. Dead air, more dead air. All right, so anyway, so we got a lot going on. So, by the way, the Lieutenant Governor did tell me some top secret information that I'm going to pass along to you right now. So if you're listening, the Lieutenant Governor wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. So he wants everybody who, listens to the Voice of Texas and the family to have a wonderful holiday season. And everybody have a great time and like I said, enjoy your family if you can and all of that. So there's your big top secret information. Okay, maybe he didn't ask me to pass that along. Maybe I just came up with that. But no, he's always so very nice. I've known Dan for 20-something years now. So no, I never get to see him, hardly ever get to talk to him. He's a little bit busy if you haven't noticed. And I saw him on Fox News the other night. It was great. Him talking about, hey, we'll buy any of that if any of that wall is any good that the Biden administration is trying to sell off. He also said it looks like it's a bit of a stunt, just a little red meat for the left, side of the aisle. But nonetheless, if there's any working, that fence is any good, well, then, of course, Texas would happily buy it. The Biden administration does not want to. They don't want us building that wall. They're such dirt bags, but that's how they roll. So we'll get into that. Also today, it's still Drone-a-palooza up here. Well, up on the eastern seaboard, Washington Township, New Jersey Mayor Matthew Morello said on Good Morning America that something bizarre was happening with the reported increase in drone sightings up there on the East Coast. Said we're now in like week 4 of this, and what was described as these are vehicles we see in the sky. Many times we'll see multiple drones, 3 or 4 or 5 at a time. They appear to be traveling in some type of grid pattern. That's what drones can do. Whether they're mapping or videoing, we're really not sure, but it's very bizarre. So we'll get into this, get your take. Once again, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now. What are these drones? They're unidentified aerial phenomena. People don't know what they are. And the feds won't tell us anything. The people running this country have told us they're not a threat, but we don't know what they are and they're not us. Well, if you don't know what they are and they're not us, well, then what the hell are they? Well, whatever it is, they're not talking. And Donald Trump, in typical Trump fashion, said that Joe Biden knows what is happening, but for whatever reason, the feds want to keep people in suspense. Trump said the government knows what is happening with the mystery drones over parts of the United States. He had a press conference earlier today in Mar-a-Lago. The government knows what is happening, okay? Our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into the garage, okay? They know where it came from and where it went, and for some reason, they don't want to comment. He noted that the government should be honest with the American people. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is, okay? Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they would blast it out, okay? Blast it out. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster, if you know the truth, okay? Okay? They're very, very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster, okay? I've decided to cancel my trip. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I don't know. I tend to agree with Donald Trump's assessment. They know exactly what this is. They're just not telling us. It's at this point, I've determined it's either us or it's the Chinese doing their final, rundown of whatever it was the Bidens took their payoffs from. So I think that's maybe that. We shall see. Speaking of payoffs, ABC News will now pay $15 million in President-elect Donald Trump to him in a defamation suit against the network and anchor George Stephanopoulos. George Snuffleupagus? Wait, Stephanopoulos? I can't remember how you pronounce his name. Anyway, according to the settlement, ABC News will now pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to a presidential foundation and museum to be established by, for plaintiff. The President of the United States of America have established in the past. The network will also pay $1 million in Trump's attorney fees. Now, if you remember what this is from, George Stephanopoulos repeatedly called Donald Trump a convicted rapist on the air, and that is false. And he did it for a reason, because he knows you stooges who listen to this program, who call yourselves Democrats and will do whatever the talking points the Democrats have, will call Donald Trump a racist. A rapist. Well, racist too. Worked for that. The very fine people on both sides, white supremacy. They know they'll get their marching orders, so it was worth it for them. They thought they were going to help, be able to manipulate this election, but it didn't work out the way they had planned. Anyway, he was interviewing Nancy Mason. He did it at least 10 times. He called Donald Trump a convicted rapist. In the lawsuit filed against ABC News, Trump claimed Stephanopoulos' statements were false, intentional, malicious, and designed to cause harm. They were. During the interview with South Carolina House member, Nancy Mace, the anchor said 10 times Trump was found liable for rape, although a jury actually determined he was liable for sexual abuse, which is completely different under New York law. So they were doing this to try to manipulate people, also trying to shut down Nancy Mace and her support for Donald Trump. Needless to say, it didn't work, and now they're having to pay $16 million. So there you go. There was also, first of all, I hate the fact there's ever a school shooting. But earlier today, there was a school shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. One teacher and one student was shot and killed, and apparently the shooter died, but I haven't heard why, if the shooter killed himself or was shot by somebody. But a Madison Chief of Police, Sean Barnes, indicated a total of about 7 persons were transported from the scene for medical treatment. Now, Barnes didn't describe whether the injured included the fatally injured or not. So it was originally thought of as a lot worse than it actually was. Still terrible. But what's really sad is there were 2 people killed earlier this morning in a shooting in, it was East Houston, Northeast Houston, Northwest Houston, whatever. There was apparently a mass shooting at a bar or something last night. We get more people shot on a regular basis in our Democrat-controlled enclave. Oh, by the way, how much you want to bet this is a Democrat-controlled enclave? I don't know. I have not looked up the political affiliation. I will just say this. It is a crime in this country that any school doesn't have armed protection for their students and their staff at this point. There is no excuse for not protecting children. It is not a secret that there are psychopaths, there are weirdos, there are criminals, there are people that intend to do our children harm. And apparently teachers. And CEOs. And just go on. There are psychopaths out there. And there's a particular political party that will coddle that portion of the electorate and somehow defend what they're doing. So I don't understand at this point why schools do not have armed security. I know we have some here in Texas, that's for sure. But it makes no sense to me why at this point we don't. How can you possibly have a school full of hundreds, if not thousands of kids and not have people protecting them? And we understand, what generally stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. There is no secret that they could not afford. Every school in the country can afford to have armed staff. Every school in the country, you're armed security. The garbage argument the left puts out there, like, would you want teachers with guns? Well, if they're trained, they're properly trained, the former military, former law enforcement, maybe current, they know what they're doing. Yeah. Give them a little extra training, and then there you go. Okay, if not, all right, hire security. 1 or 2 armed police officers, metal detectors. This isn't that difficult. It's really not that hard. The only reason it's difficult is we're having to debate with people that coddle criminals that commit these acts, so every time they do one of these acts, they can use it for political purposes. It's utterly insane. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and take a break because we're way over. We'll come back. It is our Manic Monday edition of the program. If you want to join us, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. We'll come back. I got some Christmas music. Oh, hey, Captain Jack's not here today. It's Harry Bohemian. Harry Bohemian, if you want to play Christmas music the rest of the show, you can go ahead and do that. We don't have to play my cool 90s music, even though I like it. And his Harry Bohemian likes it too. But if you want, we'll play some Christmas music. We're getting closer and closer to the holiday. I'm ready for Christmas. The weather doesn't feel like Christmas outside. It's a little muggy and warm today. Yeah, you're darn straight. Days of the new. All right, 281-558-KSEV. Don't you go anywhere. We'll come back. I'll play a little Christmas music on my end. And then we'll get out to, I think it looks like a cracker smoker. Does he still smoke crackers, or is he just croaking them these days? I don't know. He's out in Pearland. We'll talk to him on the other side. Don't you go anywhere. You're listening to Chris X Radio.
You're listening to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio. On AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Just because we're rolling closer and closer to the holidays, don't forget about Steve Davis and Total Wealth Academy. He hosts the Total Wealth Academy radio show, right? He talks about how to generate wealth and passive income for you and your family, because that's exactly what they do. Total Wealth Academy has been teaching people how to use real estate to build wealth and secondary streams of income, and they've been doing it for over 50 years now combined, along with Steve Davis. Are you guys just getting started? Maybe you got a lot of real estate experience. Wherever you're at, Total Wealth Academy can take you and help you start realizing rates of return that are practically unheard of in just about any other investment. Check out the website, TotalWealthAcademy.com, to get more information or to sign up for one of their free sample classes. They have their member spotlight nights. They've got online classes. TotalWealthAcademy.com is that first step towards achieving financial independence using real estate investing. It's what they do. I've known Steve Davis for almost 20 years now. I've watched him teach thousands of people on how to invest in real estate. Many of them went from having no real estate to retirement using the investing principles they're teaching at Total Wealth Academy. In my opinion, Steve Davis is the best real estate consultant in the country. He's right here in Houston, and he can be yours. Check out the website, TotalWealthAcademy.com, to get more information. And don't forget to listen to Steve Davis on the Total Wealth Academy radio show. Now, it airs Monday through Saturday at noon right here on the Voice of Texas. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com, and just tell them that Chris X sent you.
Hi, folks. Dan Patrick here. Beautiful and healthy trees increase your property value, but sick, ugly trees will decrease the value of your home. That's why I recommend you call Ability Tree Experts at 281-441-4179. Caring for the beautiful and valuable trees on your property that you can't replace. That's why you need to call my friend Louis Flory and Ability Tree Experts. I've known them for over 40 years. Gosh, this guy is the pro when it comes to taking care of trees. Well-fed and pruned tree will be less susceptible to wind damage and uprooting. You know, pruning is important for the health of your trees and allows the sun and fresh air into the canopy. Trees can be in distress several months without showing any signs. So don't wait to protect your investment. Call Louis Flory now at 281-441-4179, 281-441-4179, or visit their website at abilitytrees.com. Right now, receive a deep root feeding with every tree pruned. That's Ability Tree Experts. Ability Tree, Houston's leading tree care professional.
Let's be honest, no one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. The problem is, worn out springs, cables, and rollers can break before they give any sign of trouble. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Every time your garage door opens and closes, there is wear and tear taking place. If not properly serviced each year, a simple fix could turn into a costly repair. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. The Garage Door Doctor motto, honest, quality work at a fair price, isn't just words. It's the Garage Door Doctor promise. Because when you're with Garage Door Doctor, you're family. We never employ subcontractors to do our work. Our staff, including our own family members, will treat your garage as their own. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
Do you need money? Want to lower your monthly debt? Are you thinking about a cash-out refinance? Hi, it's Kathy from Baker Mortgage. A cash-out refinance can get you back in your comfort zone, and that's what it's all about. A recent client who closed with us had his payment go up about $300, but his monthly outgo was being reduced by $1,200, so giving him a net positive cash flow of $900. It's not about adding debt, but restructuring it in a way that makes sense. And this math totally makes sense. And please don't sweat it if your interest rate is going up a little or if you're extending the term. I can show you by taking a small amount of what you're saving monthly and applying it towards your mortgage, you're going to pay it off just as quickly and you'll be way ahead in the money game, which is where we all want to be, right? Remember, we want to help you, but we're not going to help you over a cliff. Baker Mortgage, 281-313-MOVE, or go directly to bakermortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. License number 263213.
And now, back to Chris X Radio on the Voice of Texas.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
You can't go wrong with Elvis
I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorate
turned into Dr. Evil in there somehow.
on a
Didn't Elvis make $1 million? I think he made a little bit more than that. Welcome back to Chris X Radio on your Manic Monday edition. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. The movie I don't watch every year, but I should, Miracle on 34th Street. Probably the best Christmas movie of all time. But I have been watching all of those Christmas movies. Or Thanksgiving. I was watching some of those that usually would air on like Hallmark, but I don't have Hallmark now. So I've got the streaming channels on Pluto, and they've got like 4 or 5 of them. So I go through there. There's like Lifetime, there's Hallmark, there's whatever else. And they show all the same ones, I guess, or maybe the ones from the past. So I've been watching a few of those. And they all follow such a same pattern. It's hilarious. But I love the Christmas movies. I wish society was more like, because as a kid, that's kind of what it was like to me. And then, just a throwback to when things were simpler and sweeter and people just seemed to be a whole lot kinder. So I always, like I said, I always enjoy the Christmas movies. I love this time of year. Once it cools down, it's really nice. And we had a little bit of cool weather, but now it's warm again. But then again, you also know me. No, I can't just go with that. I gotta have the fun ChrisXmas music. So we'll do a little bit of that here just to get you in the mood. And I don't want to leave anybody out, so we'll make sure we include everyone this holiday season.
It's the PC time of year. Every holiday displayed because of morbid fear. Happy Ramahana Kwanzmas. Yeah, we know the name is queer. Oh, good golly, can't offend nobody on Christmas this year.
I love how they bleep it out.
Oh, no, the Eskimos need a holiday.
Do they have one?
We'll get right back to you when we think of one for gay.
That's trans and whatever else.
What a time for winter cheer. But if you see a Christmas tree, you'll hear Christmas cheer.
Remember when that was the case?
UACLU
Agree with that.
For winning the 12 million in your lawsuit versus Santa and his elves. Have a Ramahana Kwanzmas, and everyone must now adhere. So, by golly, don't hang up that holly on Christmas this year.
Yeah, and no more sleigh bells either.
Think about this. That's what the left has brought us. They tried to demonize Christmas, and they're still... Okay, before we go to the ones, we'll go to... And I'll ask Robert this question as well. You guys remember Jack Black was funny, right? Is anybody else with me that he's completely jumped the shark? That now they've got this. There's a Christmas movie, I guess, out of the theaters called. Instead of Santa, the kid spells it Satan, so he pops up and it's Satan as acting like Santa, or whatever. But I'm like, I used to like Tenacious D. I used to love, School of Rock was great. Jack Black was funny, and then now he's have no interest in seeing anything. Okay, by the way, great. We can talk about this as well. My second favorite dumb guy movie of all time has been Saving Silverman. Jack Black's in it along Steve Zahn, who's fantastic, and then whatever that idiot that was in the I don't even remember what the school shows were called. There was he's the Greek kid that always plays Jewish kids. Anyway, whatever that is. So there's that. I thought the number one dumb guy movie of all time, Dumb and Dumber. It's hard to beat that. But The Jerk was on over the weekend. That's the original dumb guy movie, as far as I can tell. And Steve Martin is freaking hilarious in that movie. You couldn't make it today, just like Blazing Saddles. So there you go. But, all right. So anyway, let's go to the phones. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's go to Roberto, a.k.a. Bobby Boucher of Pearland. Robert, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Well, thank you. I tried to hang on, but Captain Behemoth had to cut me down, and that's good. I was keeping a perfect score here. Are you talking about the actor that they called the Hebrew Hammer?
The Hebrew Hammer.
Yeah, the Greek guy that played. I couldn't remember his name. I saw him in an NYPD Blue episode like 30 years ago. It was old, and it's that guy that plays the Hebrew Hammer. You ever heard of it? I don't know his name.
What's funny is I remember the Hebrew Hammer, but I couldn't tell you who played it. I have no idea. The guy I'm talking about is Jason. Is it Jason? He's a Greek actor, actually, but he plays a Jewish guy in Saving Silverman. And I saw some interview with him. Apparently, he's a total schmuck, which is appropriate. But he's actually Greek, he said. But he was in American Pie, the American Pie series. He was the main. I don't even remember. It's been so long since those were around. But he was in that. He's the main. He's Silverman in Saving Silverman. So whoever that actor is, I think it's Jason something. I don't remember. But that's who I'm talking about. I don't know if he did he play the Hebrew Hammer?
Real high on the memory scale.
Well, we're talking about dumb guy movies, so.
Well, here's a dumb guy commercial. I heard your commercial with the drone theme. Man, that was funny.
That would be actually a promo, I think. But yes, same difference.
Promo.
So you did you recognize the voice in that? I imagine you probably did.
No, who was that guy?
You didn't recognize the guy at the tail end of my promo for this week?
No, I knew it was some movie from somewhere, and I said, damn, I wish I knew that. I'll just call him and ask him, who is it?
It wasn't a movie. I'll just say this. It's a cartoon, and he uses the modulator. I can't remember what he called it. The something modulator. I'll just give you, okay, I'll tell you his name. His name is Marvin.
Oh, South Park.
You're going to have to go a little further back than that. No, it's Marvin the Martian from Bugs Bunny.
Oh, my God. Okay, now that fits. That fits. And I thought it was very funny. And I, of all people, know funny because I own mirrors. Also, El Senador knows what the drone intel is on these drones, Christopher. He's just not telling you. And he knows because he took so long on playing the bingo, he was trying to auto-locate the exact position of the drones. He became an expert because bingo is a grid. Thank you.
Well, that explains why he's so good at it.
Behemoth. Now,
There
if
you go.
Stephanopoulos paid $15 million, what the hell does CNN, CNBC, DNC, SPCA, ACDC, NAACP, NBC, CBS, ABC, LMNOP, FCC, and the CIA owe him? And then,
hold on, before you continue with that.
Drones, bro.
Well, okay, before you get to the drones, first of all, you just made actually a very salient point. For ABC had to pay the $15 million, and I think I don't know how much of that George Stephanopoulos is paying, but nonetheless, ABC is. Oh, okay, well, ABC's, they're paying all this money, $15 million, $16 million, whatever it's going to be, and they're doing this, and then you've got all of these other networks that have gone on and I guess the fact that this had been adjudicated, and he should have known better, and then, of course, he was obviously doing it as a hit piece, because that's what they do constantly, so that's my only difference, but I think you're right. He could literally, at this point, sue just about every one of the networks and probably win every one of them.
He'd end up in a plus. He'd have so much money coming back from the courts, he would end up ahead because he had to pay a lot in the last 4 years.
Yeah, there is that too. So, all right. So I want to hear about the drones. All right, you wrap up with the drones before we have to go to break.
Yes, I'm going to go so that you don't go over. No, the drones. Speaking of Trump has the answer. The answer is coming. It's going to be soon. And y'all need to watch out because he's going to add his own drone. It's going to be gold-plated. It's going to send out communication signals to other big drones, telling them how great his drone is. He's going to be inventing nicknames for each drone, and that will discourage them, and he'll insult them through these signals, and they'll return to their mothership to cry to their tech mommy. That's how I picture you doing that sometimes. And they will quit on their missions. Problem solved. Thank you, President Trump.
Man, thank you for the call, Robert. That's a pretty unique assessment. If Trump would have drones, they would be the best drones of all the drones in the history of dronage, okay? It's Dronapalooza, and only the best drones work for 45 and 47, okay? I'm not saying any names, but I'm just saying, okay? It's so interesting because you've got the Biden administration that has just lied to us repeatedly over and over and over again. And I just can't help but it was a little over a year or so ago when we had the Chinese spy balloon flew overhead, and they lied to everybody and then gaslight the entire country to lie about this Chinese spy balloon until they were forced to admit it was a Chinese spy balloon. They gave lousy excuses as to why they couldn't shoot it down, and then once it crossed over the South Carolina coast, then they shot it down over the ocean. And it's like, which I listen, this is just my opinion, but with the money that Humper was getting in from Ukraine, which I think has to do with some of the money going back to Ukraine and then coming back going to Humper and then the big guy, there was some money coming from China. Okay, China, I'm not saying. So it's either our drones or they're from China, okay? Maybe he's finishing that last payoff before he gets out of office. Who knows? I just know this. They will lie to us constantly about it and then gaslight us. They tried that over the weekend with, what's-his-face, the little spokes guy or whatever. Was it Jake Sullivan? No, not Jake Sullivan. The other guy. And they're like, we don't even know if there's really drones out there. They could be just imaginary. We don't even know. They're ridiculous. All right, we're way over I do know that. Let's go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Chris X Radio. You want to join us? You want to weigh in? Trump says Joe Biden knows exactly what's happening, but for whatever reason, they want to keep people in suspense. Could be that they're up to no good. Could be that they're embarrassed, or it could be who knows? There could be a whole lot of reasons why. It's just weird watching them lie and try to gaslight the American people over and over again. Even going out the door, they're still doing it. They'll just keep I guess you know what? They did it for the last 4 years. Why wouldn't they keep going? I'll do it till the nth degree. Corruption on steroids. 281-558-KSCV, 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Call Chris X Radio now. 281-558-KSEV.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Can you believe it's been over a quarter of a century that you have helped provide Christmas for thousands upon thousands of children with disabilities in the Be an Angel Christmas program? Without you, the KSEV listeners, literally, these children would have a very bleak Christmas. Our volunteers are in the midst of shopping now, knowing that we can count on you. Please send your check, make your donations today at beanangel.org. And to you and your family, from ours, Merry Christmas and God bless.
Hey, are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? Well, my friends at Lone Star Transfer, they are the only company I trust to help you. Now, they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have thousands of five-star reviews. Now, their customer service is their top priority. Now, for a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, call now at 833-594-0075. That's 833-594-0075. On the web, it's LoneStarTransfer1word.com.
Plumbing emergencies never happen at a convenient time. Nix Plumbing offers free estimates and free second opinions. Call Nix Plumbing and Sewer Services, 713-868-9907, or visit us on the web, nixplumbing.com.
MPL 38548.
This is Kevin O'Hara with O'Hara & Company Real Estate. The country and the world are changing for the good. If you're watching the mainstream media, that's not the message you're getting. They've been brainwashing you for years. Dig into the real news and wake up. You were born free and freedom was given to you by God. The word government is derived from the Greek words meaning to steer or rudder. That should tell you something. God put us here to love one another no matter what race, religion, or ethnic group. And I'll admit sometimes I have a problem doing this, but I'm working on it. If you need a real estate company, call O'Hara & Company Real Estate at 281-373-3393 or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. Also, if you're looking for a home builder, remodeling, patio cover, any type of construction projects, give O'Hara Homes a call at 281-373-3393. And here's my grandson.
This is Kason Martinez. God bless America and God bless Texas. One more thing. God bless my pawpaw.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author, executive producer, and star in a brand new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who've retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and the money's never at risk if the market crashes. That's right, if the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money saved, call to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new movie at 1-800-451-8989. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you can get it completely free. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-451-8989. That's 1-800-451-8989. Again, 1-800-451-8989.
And now, we return you to your regularly scheduled dose of common sense. Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind.
It's a good one.
Run, run, Rudolph. Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa, make him hurry. Tell him he can take the freeway down.
This is very, this is
Run,
very
run,
Johnny B.
Rudolph, 'cause I'm
Goodish.
reeling like a merry-go-round. Said Santa to a boy child, what have
I
you
think
been
just about all of his
longing
hits were
for?
very, but it's great.
All I want for Christmas is a rock and roll electric guitar.
There you go. May I get a new guitar to give away for our next pizza party? May I do that? I've already got my guitars. And it's funny, I haven't played them very much lately. I've been playing my drums more lately. I don't know why. So I'm not as good as I once was. So I can tell you that. All right, so we had a caller during the break. It was Jason Biggs, so I looked it up. Is the actor that was in American Pie, and then, of course, Saving Silverman. I forget all of the stars that were actually in my second favorite dumb guy movie of all time, Saving Silverman. Of course, Jason Biggs plays Darren Silverman. Steve Zahn plays Wayne, Cowboy Wayne, who's great. Jack Black plays J.D. McNugent. What a great name. That's back when he was still funny. Amanda Peet is in it. She was Judith. She was the evil chick and then Amanda Detmer, who was the sweet girl that goes on to was going to be a nun, but she's Jason's or whatever, Darren's true love. R. Lee Ermey was their coach. The movie was directed by Dennis Dugan. If you guys know who that is? By the way, Dennis Dugan also had a son that played professional baseball for the Sugarland Skeeters before they turned into the Space Monkeys now? I don't even know what they're called anymore. They're I think it's Space Cowboys. Okay. So, but yeah, he had a son. He's a good ball player. But, so there you go. So if you're a fan of Dumb and Dumber, you like dumb guy movies, or The Jerk, which The Jerk is freaking hilarious. Very non-PC, I can tell you that. But that's a good one to watch. R. Lee Ermey plays their coach, who takes the football coach, and he takes one of the, what do you call it, the little side markers where they mark the first down, grabs it, and they have the little pointed end. He throws it after the referee blows a call and actually ends up killing him. And their response when they visit R. Lee Ermey in prison, yeah, what is their deal? That ref blew. He deserved it. What's funny is there are people that are that way now. Kyle Gass is in it. That's the other half of J.D. McNugent, Jack Black, with the Tenacious D. And Kyle was the one basically, you remember when they got in trouble for what they said, and then they just had to cancel their tour. And now you know why Jack Black dumped on Kyle Gass, let him, because he said something stupid, really stupid. Let him take the hit, get rid of him because, well, Jack Black had his other movies coming out. So they didn't want the theaters to take a hit, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably take a hit anyway. So there you go. But and Neil Diamond is in it. They're fans of Neil Diamond. So at one point they kidnapped Neil Diamond. So that's actually kind of fun. It's a great Dumb Guy movie. It's a lot of fun. My second favorite. And then, of course, Dumb and Dumber is the best. But watching The Jerk, oh, my God, there's so many funny parts. I haven't watched that movie in 30-plus years, and I watched most of it, which reminds me of the song I wrote for Harry Behemoth. I'm picking out a thermos for you. Steve Martin is absolutely hilarious in that movie. You wave this kind of wad. He's holding out cash when he worked at the gas station, and the guys come in with stolen cards, and he's like, you wave this kind of cash in front of some people. It's hysterical. So, but that's one, yeah, if you're easily offended, may not want to watch it. But like I said, you can't go wrong with The Jerk. That was Steve Martin's, I think, big movie debut, if I remember correctly. And then he superstarred him. He's not really, he's just not very funny anymore. He got old, not very funny. Very few can maintain that humor, I guess, as they get older. Then I saw Jim Carrey over the weekend. He's back in what's the animated movie? I don't know, it's based off a video game, I think. I don't remember what it's called, but he does one of the voices. Or no, it's kind of animated. It's real actors and animation, and he plays one of the bad guys, and they asked him, he had said he was retired acting, he'd never come back, but then he did because he needed the money. Okay. That guy is so weird. He is very strange. He's a talented actor, at least he was. I imagine he still is. He's just total weirdo, so... Anyway, all right, okay, enough about that. I just wanted to go clear up. So there it was. Jason Biggs was the actor that is in Saving Silverman. My second favorite Dumb Guy movie, or maybe third now. Maybe The Jerk goes in there because it was the original. All right, so let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back because I just wasted this entire segment talking about all the awesome people in Saving Silverman. And then there's Dumb and Dumber. You can't beat the original Dumb and Dumber. I know they're total lefty morons, but the movie's hilarious. And this is a great Christmas song.
We've no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some corn.
When it's 80 degrees out, it's tough to get snow.
The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow.
All right, 281-55 KCB. We have one segment remaining here in this first hour, and then we got hour number 2 locked and loaded. At some point, I'll actually get to what we were planning on talking about. 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
And the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow and snow.
The resistance is futile. Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio.
Chris X here for Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative Christian wireless company. You guys ready to start supporting these companies that actually share our values and our principles? Patriot Mobile is one of those companies. In fact, they donate a portion of every dollar they earn to organizations that fight for the causes that you care about. Last year, Patriot Mobile donated over $2.3 million to Christian and conservative causes. This year they're going to donate even more, because they're only getting bigger and they're only getting better because of people like you who are now starting to support the causes that we believe in and companies that believe in the same causes, taking away our money from those woke companies that don't like us and use our money to take away our rights and our freedoms. Patriot Mobile has exceptional coverage on the nation's best 4 and 5G networks. In fact, they use the same towers as the main carriers. They have plans that'll fit any budget, which includes the multi-line users, all for around half of what Big Mobile is charging. What Woke Mobile charges, they charge you twice as much, and then they take the overage that they get and then donate it to causes that want to take away our rights and our freedoms. Patriot Mobile does not do that. By the way, Patriot Mobile has something you can ask them about. It's called the Patriot Mobile One service, where you can get access to all 3 of the networks on one single device. So that way you have the most reliable coverage anytime, anywhere. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you do take away your support for those leftist progressive agendas of big woke mobile, and you add it to conservative Christian causes. That's right, the causes of you, me, and Patriot Mobile. A great company that's actually in line with your values and your principles. Patriot Mobile even offers great discounts for veterans and first responders, so they take care of those who take care of ourselves. Take care of us. I don't know if Woke Mobile does that. Switching is simple. This is what everybody's concerned about, switching. Well, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can do it online at patriotmobile.com/KSEV. That's patriotmobile.com/KSEV. Or if you want to talk to somebody, you can call them on their U.S.-based customer service line today at 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Talk to an American right here in America. When you call them, make sure you use offer code KSEV, and you get free activation. You'll save even more money. Don't forget, offer code KSEV. All right, that's patriotmobile.com/KSEV, or call them directly at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT.
'Twas the night before hosting your holiday ball. The guests will be coming, friends, family, and all. A quick trip to Specs for savings galore. The total is clear. Specs carries more. With prices so low, so much to choose, just leave it to Specs, your holiday muse. So get it in gear and come get your cravings. For this time of year, we shout cheers to savings.
Let's be honest, no one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. 800-951-6756. 800-951-6756. That's 800-951-6756. Paid for by Airtime Media.
And now, back to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio on the voice of Texas.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
You know, somebody just left me a message for a Cracker Croaker out in Pearland. You realize a gold-plated drone wouldn't fly due to the weight.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
That's kind of funny. I can see that. I can completely understand that. Welcome back to Chris X Radio. You've reached the final segment of the first hour here on your Manic Monday edition. We are getting closer and closer to Christmas, as you can hear. I got some more fun Christmas stuff we'll play in the second hour, but I want to make sure we get to your calls as well at 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Mentioned it's still Dronapalooza up there in the eastern seaboard. We'll talk about that. Donald Trump says that Joe Biden knows exactly what's happening, but for whatever reason, the feds want to keep people in suspense. You've got ABC News now having to pay $15 million to President-elect Donald Trump in a defamation suit against the network and anchor George Stephanopoulos, who kept calling him a rapist. He was convicted. So now, that wasn't quite it. So, and then there was a shooting up at the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Left one teacher and one student dead, and then the shooter, they say he was dead as well, but they didn't say, at least the last report I saw, didn't say what exactly happened. I also saw that Trump wants to end daylight savings time, or daylight saving time, whatever it's called. I agree. Let's keep it with the more sunlight deal. I hate this moving the clock around, and it doesn't make any sense why they do it now, at least for our country. And the other thing is, I hate it getting dark at like 5:30. Man, I'll look at sometimes I'm sitting there, it's dark outside. I'm like, is it midnight? Is it 3 in the morning? Maybe it's 5 a.m. I don't even know. It's dark. It's 6 p.m. It's like, what is going on? My Lord, this daylight savings. And just how much time is wasted by people having to flip their clocks back and forth. Supposedly, I don't know if it's true, the old Indian statement, only the white man could think cutting the bottom off the top off a blanket and adding it to the bottom would give you more blanket or so. I don't know. That sounds like one of those stupid woke quotes or whatever. But I know there at some point there must have been a good reason for maybe back in the old days for daylight savings. It makes no sense now. All right, let's go to the phones. 281-558-KSEV. Let's go to David X. David, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Yeah, you talk about not knowing the difference between night and day outside. GVK picked up the phone and said, Chris Salcedo's show, who's calling? And I had to check my clock and find out if it was AM or PM because that kind of freaked me out. But,
yeah, that freaked me out a little bit, just you telling me.
Yeah, I had a point that I wanted to make, and I'm willing to, hear your side of it, but I think on surface it looks like a good thing. This is the second news story in as many weeks where I heard a Texas representative saying they were going to buy the border wall pieces and give it back to the federal government. I think the intent is there. But there's something inherently unethical about this. And I talked to Struzan last week about somebody saying that they were going to take land that belongs to Texas and give it to the Border Patrol. I have a problem with this because I think it's fundamentally unethical to continue to donate excessively to the federal government. Texas is a donor state. We give more than our fair share to the feds already. And secondly, just because it looks like we got some favorable administration for the next 4 years does not mean that they won't turn around and double-cross us as soon as the next whack job gets elected president.
Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
I agree with your sentiments 100% because we do know politics are cyclical. Okay, so I think you may have misunderstood, or maybe Ben did as well. I don't know. There's a representative here in Texas that was talking about donating space for the camps to put the illegals on before they're deported back across the border. They were not donating the land. The government was not going to get it, so there was that, or at least the federal government wasn't. So that wasn't in the equation as far as I've seen. So I'm fine with that, donating the land to allow them to build the camps and things on there to house people. I'm okay with that for now, because in that way you can always go, okay, when the idiots get in charge, well, then you can immediately take that back. It infuriates me that the federal government, which is Donald Trump called it a bit of, said it's basically a crime. What the Biden administration is doing is taking wall that was already paid for by the American taxpayer to be put on the border, and then take it, let it sit for 4 years, and then turn around and sell it off for pennies on the dollar, and then for us to have the state of Texas to buy it and then turn right around and give it back to the government. That's double paying. That is literally everything that is wrong with this country. So I have a problem with that, but I would rather do that than just get rid of that border wall, anything that's usable, of course. So the sad part is we're dealing with multiple levels of, instead of corruption, I'll call it crookedity. I heard that somewhere. It's crookedity. They're crooked, and it is institutionalized crookedity. I don't even know. No, it's clearly, and I saw Donald Trump talking about this, and he says it's borderline criminal, if not criminal. And I agree. But the problem is we have a certain political party in this country that has made it clear they will not only will they not hold themselves accountable, they will use the law to go after the other side, and then turn right around and pardon their side while claiming no one is above the law, and then pardoning thousands and thousands of other people. And I got people that were furious at me because I didn't want to give out blanket pardons for January 6th. I want to go through every case and make sure that it's done the way it should be. Thank you for the call, David. Hour number 2 is up next.